Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to End of Day Update. I'll start with Bitcoin futures, and you can see on 1 hour chart today at 6 p.m. All right, this is Eastern Time Zone. We had a gap up, um, and that gap will be filled. You can see Bitcoin. This is live. This is futures. Gap up here, so around 39,355. So I created a gap here, marked it with green line. All the bottom gaps I mark it with green. So anyhow, so you can see what's happening. This gap 39,805 is now left. It will come back probably as soon as tomorrow. It will just come back and fill. And then there are all these other gaps to the downside. All right. So I want to see divergences building. Right now, you can see PPO green line is below red line. So, and it's facing downwards. So there's a lot of downwards pressure. So until green line goes above red line, this is PPO indicator. No point buying Bitcoin here right now, right? And also I want to see divergences. What I want to see something like this, price going lower, 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 and then RSI started to go higher. You can see higher, higher, PPO higher, higher. That's what I want to see, okay? Until I see that, I think bottom is not going to be there. So I think there will be some bounces and then it's going to be failing, bounce, fail. And then as it goes lower, I want to see RSI going higher. And then we can see that momentum is building and then we can be a bit bullish, all right? So that's on Bitcoin, looking for more downside. And all these green lines are the gaps to fill. So from where it is right now, it can go all the way down, potential 40, 50% downside move possible, okay? Ethereum, now there's a gap up. One thing to note, so it's near nice support area. This is what I had green marked. I removed it. And if I go to 1 hour chart on Ethereum, you can see again gap up around 6 p.m. This is going to be filled very soon. And there's also a gap around 2484. So just be mindful of that. If Bitcoin pumps for some reason, I think that gap will be filled. So it is quite possible on Ethereum, we could pump from here, fill this gap, and then come down, all right? So that's also a possible scenario. Just keep that in mind. But yeah, that's why gaps are there. This gap will be filled and all these bottom gaps will be filled, all right? I just don't know when. So if Ethereum has to go down from here, so from where it is right now to all the bottom gaps, it's around 46, 47%. Okay, 1190 is the last gap, so it can go as far as that. All right, so just keep that in mind. Sorry, I don't want to lock this. Auto. All right. Oops. I'm not sure what this is. All right. Okay. What else? Okay, so that covers Bitcoin. Let's go to the traditional market, VIX. Let's go to 1 hour chart on VIX. And you can see VIX had a gap up and these gaps are closed now. So this gap around 12.72 is closed. We can delete it. Now there's another gap around 12.44. So I think tomorrow we're going to fill that. And then we got to be a bit careful because if I go to daily chart, then we are looks like coming back to the demand zone. Okay. So this is where so it can go lower, but this is where VIX will get could be possible to get a bounce. So it's coming closer. It can still go a little bit more lower, and then it will start to consolidate, and then it will bounce. All right. There's a gap around 16.83 and gap around 21.25. It will be filled. Maybe this year, we'll see. Maybe in February. So a bounce is coming, and that will take Nasdaq to around 14,000. So this is my target on Nasdaq around 14,500 to 15K. All right, it will be filled, guys. So maybe it's gonna take February, March, April to fill it, but this run is unbelievable. Okay, so we need to cool down. So just be careful here. I think short term it can go to 18,000. So that's what I'm expecting. Nasdaq will go to 18,000, especially earning season is coming. Netflix is up almost 8% today. So I think that's going to drive Nasdaq tomorrow higher and it will pump. And then Tesla's earning is also tomorrow, end of day. Let's see if everything falls in lines and Nasdaq can be on 18,000 sooner than later. So who knows? So just be mindful of that. And triple Qs, you can see all these gaps, green lines are the gaps to fill. I think we will go a little bit more higher and then eventually will come down. Now my target is 378. That's a nice area to buy. I don't know if we're gonna go straight there, but eventually we'll come there. So pullbacks are healthy. So I think we will have some little bit of drop down, but I don't know if it's going to be filled this year or maybe next year. We'll see. But just remember, if you think you're missing out, remember all these gaps. Just remember they will be filled. Okay. Especially this massive gap around 378 will be filled at some point. And let's go to SPY, S&P 500. Again, this gap is not filled, 482. And then again, I'm thinking 455. This is the area of support which I want to buy. Especially you can see prices making higher high, divergence, RSI are making lower high. Let's look at triple Q's. How's RSI on that? Same thing. Our price is making higher high, RSI is making lower high. So just let's be very careful here. All right. And oh, I can even add moving averages, so that will give us some more idea. Here you go. So it's above all moving averages. It's a nice bullish chart, but if you get a pullback, just it will find support on one of these green lines. These are the gap fills. Same thing on S&P 500. It will find support. So 468 might be a nice entry here. If you get a pullback, and best case will be around 455 to 468 here. Dow Jones also consolidating flat 0.27% up, looking for a little bit more higher and then a pullback. And Russell 2000 was up actually in the morning and then came down. Actually, if you go to 1 hour chart, it filled that gap and instantly it got rejected. If I hide this, you can see this gap here. You can see this gap. This was filled today around morning 9:30, and then they went back because gap up, came back to fill the gap. Now I think we're going lower. This is other gap now, 192.61. So it looks like it wants to go lower. So today could be the top. So we'll see tomorrow what happens. Let's look at commodities. Crude oil. Nice breakout back test yesterday. Now let's see if it can go up, consolidating. Let me bring in moving averages here. You can see breakout, just testing. Let's see if it can go above this yellow line, which is 50 EMA. Still trying its best. Gold also holding pretty nicely. Right on support, you can see red and yellow line. Right on support, this is 50 EMA and 50 SMA. It's holding support and it can bounce from here. Silver, massive move. And actually, I'm going to get rid of this trend line because I don't like this trend line. You can see this is a trend line. It broke down and it's nice recovery today, but we want this to go above this trend line. Okay, until it goes above this trend line, I'm not sure if we can be bullish, but let's see. Maybe silver will go above this trend line tomorrow. Dollar consolidating, making a flag, getting ready for a bounce, facing resistance around 200 EMA. Let's see if it can break out. Crude, sorry, natural gas. Uh, Nice recovery today. So like my arrow is pointing, I think we're going for this gap fill around 2.3. Once that fills, I think we'll go lower, make a new low, and then I will see some divergences building. Already it started building. You can see actually we got a green arrow here, which is very close to bottom today. We're just getting it today. So let's see if it's gonna go higher or it's gonna come lower. We don't know. Let's see. But eventually, I'm looking for more lower prices. Only cover Bitcoin and Ethereum. Toronto Stock Exchange. Nice move above all moving averages. Now there's a gap around 29.27, and there's a gap up around 21.061. So maybe it will fill this and then come down. Hang Seng Index China. Okay, so wait for this trend line to break. Nice recovery today. Alibaba and Baidu were up 7%, but this could be a dead cat bounce. Okay, especially PPO showing no divergence, but RSI showing little divergence. So still not bullish until it breaks this white trend line. Okay, China. Tesla earnings tomorrow, guys. Earnings tomorrow. You see what's happening on 1 hour chart? Let me hide this EMA lines. You can see 1 hour, first hour, they had a gap up, breakout of this trend line, white line, and then they're just back testing. They were just back testing throughout the day, and last couple of hours, they just tried to pull out. So let's see. Chart is telling me you can see keep going lower, RSI keep going higher, PPO keep going higher, momentum is building higher, 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 higher. I think Tesla's getting ready for an explosive breakout, and this is what chart is telling me. Chart is telling me earnings are going to be bullish, and you can see all these gaps to be filled. If it goes higher to the top, it's around 17%, then 240 is 14%, 232 is 11%, and then 7%, 225. So usually there's a 7% move up and down. So 225, 226 definitely possible if it goes to the upside. Now conversely, if I'm wrong, there are these green gaps to the bottom. Okay, so it will find support in one of these gaps. I don't know which one and when, but that's what I think it will do. So, so you got both bullish and bearish scenarios. Okay. Let's keep moving. I'm gonna skip commodities. Gold miners, nice bounce, but there are a couple of gaps down, yellow gaps up. So maybe it will fill those gaps and then go down. Also, if I want to draw a trend line, it's below trend line, so I don't think it makes sense to draw anything right now. But it really needs to go above this trend line to be bullish again, okay? Break down, maybe it's a back test before we go down, we don't know yet. Apple going for new all-time high, nothing changed here. So I think it's going to be very hard for Apple to break down until earnings. So let's see how it goes. And Netflix had a massive move, big divergence, but if it keeps going higher, I think it was up almost 570 after hours. So if it keeps going higher, then I don't think anything can break it. This divergence will be erased and it will keep going higher. Amazon also divergence. So I think one of these mega caps should break down because there are multiple divergence, Facebook, Microsoft, divergence, and that will be very good buying opportunity, okay? And Google also showing divergence, price going higher. Nvidia, no divergence on Nvidia, but we got a green sell signal yesterday. So let's see. Today also green for Nvidia for some reason. AVGO also still divergence, got a red sell signal here. Snowflakes keep going higher, but there's a gap here on 194 that will be filled sometime. Just don't know when. AMD also looks like a blow off top, maybe higher low, and then we go lower. We will see and watch. Okay. All right, guys, that's it for today. I will go through any questions if you guys have, else I will wrap it up. So let's see if, okay, I don't see any particular questions. So